I just want to remember my friend, and I want to remember Jamison, and I don't know if it's appropriate to say happy 4 years of this series, but 4 years of this series, that means something. That's a milestone. My friend was really into art. She was really talented. Everything she did, she was good at, just like Jamison. Jamison did hip-hop music. My friend played guitar and piano and sang. She was really good at it. Jamison was good at hip-hop. Jamison drew. My friend drew really well. Jamison tried to like teach himself to do tattoos and like do tattoo art. He gave himself a tattoo. My friend got into tattoo art. I like to think that maybe they're both in a place now where they can kind of get together and bounce some of that stuff off each other and maybe say, oh, so you're Jordan's brother, and cool to meet you. It sounds like silly and like almost maybe disrespectfully childish and whimsical, but I'd really like to think that maybe that's happening somewhere. I'm equipping the shooting star in honor of my friend Monica, who wanted to be called Starlin. Gonna fight Data Vanitas. This is the first one of these I'm going to be doing in Seoul, which is where I live now. Went from living in Clarksville to Seattle to Cheonan to Seoul. First letter C, first letter S, first letter C, first letter S.
Back at you! So long! You win! Take this!
I'm getting destroyed.
Too slow. Back at you!
Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna be a first try like the Data Riku was. Data Dark Riku.
Take this! You wish!
I'm about to die. Yeah.
No way.
Well, that actually, considering how horribly that started, that actually wasn't so bad. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I beat Data Vanitas while practicing. Wasn't recording, so I exited the game, and every time I've tried since then, I've gotten destroyed. Not destroyed, but I'm not doing well. I was doing well the time that I beat him.
You wish! Take this! Over here! It's over! You wish. Back off. Back at you. Got him. Take this. You wish. Destroy. Too slow. So long. You wish. See ya. Got him. Go. There. So long.
Oh, got him. It's kind of sloppy, but I got him. Recording, okay. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't a huge chunk of my night. I was like, that wasn't not even an hour. Not so bad. Used a Kupo coin, but that's okay. Okay. Got a postcard. Okay. Okay. Hey, you guys, what are you carrying? What are you guys carrying? What do you have, Bobby?
Literally just a bag, because I think this is your camera bag, right?
Yeah.
Golden 16-year-old
High school backpack.
high school backpack.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. It's weird looking.
Everyone's stopping to see now.
Am I scaring you? Sorry. Making you uncomfortable?
Getting a good shot.
But now I want to buy all the things with Sonic Arrows. That's so funny. Because people ask for Sonic if you can understand somebody that's speaking.
Oh. Sadi.
Hey Jordan.
Howdy, howdy.
spot is always here.
It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look what is going on. Like people just want to fit in. They don't. 90% of people don't believe themselves as they think to be. But tremendous people talking about this. They are poisonous.
Your
like,
what
this is the
political
narrative,
party
you
you
don't-
align with is a part of your identity, you know?
But it is kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now,
I mean, it is, but it's, you know. Without letting everyone know that they're on the right side.
but when someone tells you, oh.
Took a.
Sorry, Jordan, did that affect your footage there?
No. No. I wasn't actually recording.
Okay.
Hold on.
Any sort of engagement helps. Because they're just seeing you on the recommended and not subscribing. Because the system, like the way it's set up, kind of encourages. Is that like a fan?
Yeah.
Jordan,
Thank you.
me.
Confused. Who is who? I would know. I'm like, I got
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see it.
The way we came.
Here are the white rocks.
Here's the racist rocks.
Yeah.
Anything other than what they are. Well, that one's not white. Huh. Did it chase you?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. But I mean, they should also be a talented actor.
Yeah, that's more important, but
There you go.
okay, thank you. All right, up here again. This is the 4-year anniversary of this series, and this is the first time I have had to come from another city to come to this mountain. I have moved to Seoul. Born and raised in Clarksville, which starts with C, moved to Seattle, which starts with S, moved to Cheonan, which when Romanized starts with C, then moved to Seoul, which when Romanized starts with S. C.S. Lewis. No, next year I'm moving to Anyang, which is going to break the cycle, break the pattern. But anyway. But yeah, 4-year anniversary. I started this series in 2019. 4 years of this. This is the 16th. I couldn't do this on the 20th because the 20th is Thursday, but as I've explained before, in America, a lot of people think of 420 as like Blaze It Marijuana Day, and it's kind of like a funny thing, but I, to the extent that I can, would like to reframe it in people's minds. So I'd kind of like to wallpaper over that sentiment with, instead of celebrating marijuana, let's actually soberly and seriously think about and remember someone whose life was cut horrifically short because of drugs. I don't think drugs are something to take lightly and laugh about. But I'm not really up here to preach. Just a reminder, a few orders of business. This is my, I've had this backpack since I was, I want to say 11th grade in high school, 11th or 12th grade in high school. So I've had this backpack for more than half my, right at half my life, maybe a little more than half my life. It's, you can kind of tell it's showing its age. And my wife doesn't, for some reason, I can't fathom, my wife doesn't want this backpack that I don't use to be in our house taking up space. So I've saved it for this day. I want this to be this backpack's last hurrah. It didn't feel right to just toss it after all we've been through together. So I brought it up here for something special. So the stuff I want to talk about in this video, because the subject of this series, my brother, after a certain point, you say the same things about it over and over again. And there are a few other angles from which I'd like to approach it, but today, as I once did for my cat, Ozzy, when my cat Ozzy died, I'd like to recognize one of my friends from Seattle, good friend. During a really bad time in my life, this person was a friend to me, and I found out that she died a little over a year ago, and I didn't know. We hadn't talked in a while, and it's tricky for me to talk about this because I feel like I have the right to talk about my brother pretty openly. It's my family, but this person is not. And I don't know who might see this, but it's also important to me that I talk about it. I don't think a lot of other people will do something like this, but I think she deserves it. Someone I worked with in Seattle and we became friends. We were pretty different people, but we had a few common interests, and I think we just kind of sensed a little bit of shared, I think we just kind of found some goodness in each other. And yeah, I don't, this is unscripted, obviously. I don't really know how to like approach this. I was looking into some old Facebook stuff and accidentally stumbled upon the fact that she had died. I don't know how she died, and I don't know how to go about finding out how. And I've tried to find information because this was my friend. But so I don't even know if I should say the name, but I guess a part of this series, part of the point of this series is addressing some of the things that I kind of see going on in society and going on around me, that may have contributed to my brother's death, that being drugs, and not only drugs, but just kind of the cultural forces that pull people away from trusting their parents and making good decisions, which can lead them to something like drugs. And another one of those things, and I guess this is me kind of straight up mask off with this channel, is the cultural surge of people identifying as transgender. Anything I say to the effect of I do not hate people who suffer from gender dysphoria is going to fall on completely deaf ears for a certain group of people who have no notion of nuance, and for them it's an on or off switch of you fully agree with everything we say and think, or you hate. I do not hate, and I guess I'm not going to waste time trying to appeal to those sorts of people, except to say that I have known multiple trans people. I have been friends with multiple trans people before and after their transitions, and the whole like, oh, I have black friends so I'm not racist, oh, I have trans friends so I'm not racist, like that being some kind of like stereotype or like a joke. You can think that if you want, but I'm a complete stranger to a lot of the people who might criticize me for this. I know what I felt towards those people, and I'm not going to be told otherwise by a bunch of just clueless people. So I don't want to be too antagonistic with this, but I had to get that out of the way. But my friend was someone who always seemed ill at ease, just uncomfortable in many ways. I met her, she had one name, and it was a gradual process. First, she just wanted to change her name because she said that she wanted to just kind of reinvent herself. She didn't want to change her like sex or gender or any of that. She just wanted to reinvent herself. But she wanted to get a new name, and then she wanted people to call her that name, and I did. And she started to cover herself in tattoos, which I don't have a problem with tattoos. I don't personally have tattoos, but tattoos are not a bad thing. But my friend, the way she talked about it, it's like she woke up at 2 a.m. one day and she was like burning to get more tattoos, and so she got up at 2 a.m. and just went right out and like on a whim got tattoos on the backs of her hands. Which again, you can get tattoos on your hands if you want. It's this taken with everything else. The way she talked about herself, she changed her style and she kind of changed her whole aesthetic, and it's like she very much was committed to reinventing like some image of herself, of like the archetype of person she was. We worked at Starbucks together. There were these like biker guys who would come in, and she would talk to them and like ask for tips on like what bike to buy and what's good and stuff. And she ended up buying a motorcycle for herself. Cool. It's good to have hobbies, no problem. But the way she talked about it when she got on Facebook, and she said, I haven't posted in a while, so some of you might not know what my life is like now. I have a mohawk and ride a motorcycle now. And I don't remember the whole post, and she's deleted all of her stuff, but everything about the way she talked about this stuff seemed to me that she was chasing some idea of a type of person that she thought everybody was on the same page of thinking like, oh yeah, there's this type of person is out there, and she wanted to tell everyone, I'm that, if that makes sense. And people can do and be whatever they want. What I'm saying is that this was how it started, and this was what I watched play out over the course of several months. She wasn't happy with who she was. At least not everything about who she was. I watched her mental health suffer. It became hard to keep in touch with her because she would delete her social media. I saw her have some very public like freakouts and meltdowns over social media where she described in graphic detail stuff that she had done and stuff that had happened. And I'm not going to go into detail out of respect, but it's stuff that... Okay, she wasn't well. And I didn't hear from her for a long time. Looked up her. I remembered she was a really fantastic like artist and musician. She sang really well, and I remembered like years and years ago she had uploaded a YouTube video of herself playing and singing a song, playing a piano and singing a song that she wrote beautifully. And I just wanted to hear it and see what she was up to, see if she was maybe uploading other stuff to her channel. So I sought out that video, left a comment just saying hi. She responded back, hey Jordan, and we should catch up. She dropped me her email. So we emailed back and forth, and catching up, and I told her I was doing YouTube. She asked me, what about where can I find your channel? I want to watch some of your videos. And so I told her that I'm making these videos about Jamison. I told her that my brother died, and I explained what my series is all about. Well, let me back up. In the same message where she said, like, I want to watch your videos, she also told me she had discovered that she was trans non-binary, so she was taking hormones. She said we should video chat sometime. My voice is a little different, but I'm still the same friend. And I told her in my response email, I was like, yeah, we might could video chat sometime. I'm pretty busy usually, but we can probably find time to do that. I told her that I was willing to do that. I didn't really comment on the trans, non-binary part, except I asked her about the hormones and like what that was like, out of curiosity. I told her that my brother had died. This email I sent to her was her finding out that I had lost my brother, and she never responded to that email. I never got a response. I was actually kind of put out by it. Like I know everyone's got their own lives and stuff, but if I hear that one of my friends lost someone, I'm gonna tell them, oh wow, I'm sorry, and act like it. So I was actually kind of mad about that. But that was like 2 years ago, and apparently a year later she died. And I don't know how, but I have my suspicions. Because I feel like I feel like I have to say that it's not good to speculate. And I feel like I have to say that because that's like proper procedure, but I also, given her history and knowing what I saw from her, I do think I have a pretty good idea of how she died. I don't want that to be the case. Maybe I'm wrong, but whatever the case, I was really upset when I found out. This was someone who, when I was first trying to learn how to play guitar, she recommended that I get a Big Baby Taylor, and that's the type of guitar I got. She helped me when I was like and I don't play guitar, like I haven't practiced and I'm still not good at it, but when I was first trying to get into it, she gave me a lot of encouragement and advice and help, and she hung out with me. She didn't want me to leave Seattle. She said on the one hand, she was, happy for me going to Korea and stuff. When I was really, as I said, it was a difficult part of my life, I told her that I just like felt defeated all the time, and she said, I know, I can see it on your face when you're at work. Just the fact that someone looks at someone else and kind of knows they're going through something and cares enough to observe something like that. This wasn't just someone that I kind of knew. Like I considered her my friend, and when I left Seattle, when I was in Tennessee briefly before going to Korea, she messaged me and was like, how you doing? And I said, I'm honestly pretty sad. And she said, then come home. She said, I don't support you going to Korea, like come back. And she didn't want me to leave. I guess the last time I actually hung out with her in Seattle was the last time I ever saw her. Yeah, I mean, I cooked for her one time. Cooked her like breakfast type food, like eggs and toast. I don't know, I can't sit here in this video and talk about it, everything, but I probably should specify we were just friends. I was not interested. She was like a lot younger than me, and she was also, she's a lesbian, so she was interested in women, and we were just friends, but here's something. She had liked the Kingdom Hearts games, and she, I guess, had at one point had a PSP, like a PlayStation Portable, I think. And I had a PSP with the Kingdom Hearts game Birth by Sleep, and I had beaten it. And when I let her borrow it because she wanted to play it and try to beat it. And when I was leaving Seattle, when I was moving and trying to get rid of all my stuff, she was going to bring it back to me. I think she might have actually brought it back. And I thought about like how much money, like going through all the trouble of selling this on eBay, I might get like $60 for this plus the 2 games, I don't know. It was already used when I bought it, and so I was like, just keep it. So I gave her my PSP and Kingdom Hearts, hoping, you can beat the game sometime if you want. And Birth by Sleep is the Kingdom Hearts game that heavily features, one of the main characters is Ventus. And my friend, as she was reinventing herself later on down the line, she'd already changed her first name. She went ahead and changed her middle and last name as well. And the middle name she chose for herself was Aventus, which I've always kind of thought might have been inspired by Kingdom Hearts. The other thing I gave her, there's a lot I could say about so much of the themes of Kingdom Hearts, or like the weird happenings, map bizarrely onto some of my life circumstances, or because the story of Ventus in Kingdom Hearts, he was separated into light and dark. Ventus was the light and Vanitas was the dark. That's why I chose Vanitas for this episode. And so it's this idea of him wanting to remove a part of himself that he didn't like. In Ventus's case, it was done to him. He didn't know it was done to him, and he didn't like it when he found out. But this case of someone thinking they needed to separate the things and remove a part, I'm really abstract, but I feel like it kind of lines up with someone who's dissatisfied with something about themselves. I think the commentary on trans ideology here is pretty clear. Ventus is later upset and says, why do we have to choose, like, all of this is a part of me? Why? There's all that stuff. And then I let her borrow and eventually just keep. The other thing I gave her was a physical copy of the manga of Taejosan Concrete, also known as Black and White. And again, light and darkness separating black and white. And the black and white, light and dark symbolism is very heavy throughout Taejosan Concrete. So just the fact that the two things that I gave her, the two gifts I gave her, Birth by Sleep and Taejosan Concrete, which is literally also called Black and White, it just feels like there's a lot going on with this stuff and my friend. Black and White, Taejosan Concrete is a story about authority and social norms and the degree to which people should be expected to follow them and whether or not they should. And it's a story about balance. And I just wonder, she read that, I had seen the movie, I introduced her to the animated movie, but I hadn't read the comic, so I owned the comic, but I didn't get around to reading it, and she ended up reading it before I did, and then I just gave it to her. I read the comic last night and finished it up this morning in preparation for this video. And I just wonder to what extent some of those things influenced her, along with everything else that was happening. We losing battery?
I mean, it's low, but it's not like
Okay.
given any sort of
Alright, we'll be good.
warning.
But anyway, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and my channel here and now will come out as being against this ideology, not against people making personal decisions for themselves, but against this ideology that's rapidly catching on in a very unnatural way. Because I hate that I can never talk to my friend again. She told me one time, we were talking over Messenger, it was after I'd already left, I think, and she told me we will always be friends. At that point I was 27, I think, and she was like 19. And how she said that, like, you will always be my friend, it was such like it was touching, because it was such like a sweet, like, childlike thing to say. And it's like something that I would kind of say jokingly to one of my friends, but like coming from her, it was genuine, and it was like I wouldn't make fun of her for that. It was really sweet, and it meant something that she felt that way. She everyone knows that video, What Did the Fox Say? Sorry, What Does the Fox Say? But the people who made that have also made a bunch of other videos that I think no one knows about. And she introduced me to some of those. I remember we had some good times. I remember I walked her out to the bus stop one day when she was gonna head home, and some guy came up, and I don't remember what he was saying, but he was just kind of being a jerk to us, and just all these little memories with her. I know the sorts of people she surrounded herself with. She lived in Seattle, which is probably one of the most trans-accepting places in the world, definitely in the US. She lived in Seattle. I know the types of people she surrounded herself with. She had support, she had people who cared. And I don't know what happened, but I'm against drugs, and I'm against trans ideology. She would she would probably, later in her life, I guess she would have probably been offended by me referring to her as she and her. She wanted to be they, them. And I went back and forth on whether or not to address her the way she'd want to be addressed in this video. Like, be respectful or be true, but it kind of makes me sick to my stomach to go along with something that I do believe was very much a component of her poor mental health, something that caused her a lot of pain and suffering. I haven't gone into all the details, but anyway, I don't want to focus on the negative. There's nothing anyone can do now. I just want to, I wish I could say her name. I wish I could show her video of her singing, but I feel like I can't do that given the nature of this video and the stuff I've talked about and who might be watching, and I hate that I can't. But at the end of Taejosan Concrete, the main character says, "From here you can see everything." And that's a statement that has a lot of meaning within the story that I don't have time to sit here and break down, but it's a line that stuck with me. And so I think I'm already up here for Jamison for this series anniversary. My friend died, I'm never going to see her again. She was returned to the earth in some ceremony where they put her body back in the earth. And from here you can see the entire city that I used to live in. That's not true, not the entire city, but you can see a big good chunk of it, one of the better parts of it. I would have liked to have shown her that someday. So, from here you can see, maybe not everything, but a lot of good stuff. I just want to honor my friend. I hate that I can't say her name, but I don't know if anyone else is going to do something like this for her. And I hope if she somehow sees this, she's not mad at the stuff I've been talking about, the way I've been talking about her, because I thought of her as a good friend. And yeah, the series is about Jamison, obviously, but I had an episode where I talked about my cat. As I've said, I feel like this series is getting more into at least partially addressing some of the things underlying, some of the things that are causing people problems nowadays, that I don't think it's as disconnected, drugs and this other stuff, as people might think. Anyway, I just want to remember my friend, and I want to remember Jamison, and I don't know if it's appropriate to say happy 4 years of this series, but 4 years of this series, that means something. That's a milestone. I think I probably have another good 2 years of it left. I think I'll probably finish it in 2025, but we'll see. Anyway, that's all for this one. This is kind of I guess kind of a weird thing to focus on and end on, but that's all. My friend was really, really into art. She was really talented. Everything she did, she was good at, just like Jamison. Jamison did hip-hop music. My friend played guitar and piano and sang. She was really good at it. Jamison was good at hip-hop. Jamison drew. My friend drew really well. Jamison tried to teach himself to do tattoos and do tattoo art. He gave himself a tattoo. My friend got into tattoo art. I like to think that maybe they're both in a place now where they can kind of get together and bounce some of that stuff off each other and maybe say, "Oh, so you're Jordan's brother, and cool to meet you." It sounds silly and almost maybe disrespectfully childish and whimsical, but I'd really like to think that maybe that's happening somewhere. Okay. Alrighty, 4 years of this series. I guess that'll do it. Oh yeah, thank you to my friends who helped me carry my stuff up this mountain and stood here and watched me do this and just waited for me to finish. Thank you.
Here, I can hold this.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
It's alright. It's usually something like that, isn't it? When it comes to No, like, I think you're in a good place in your life right now, and
Forgot to say a few things while I was up there. We're going down now, but Ventus in Kingdom Hearts looks just like Roxas. They ended up meeting. So my friend, she ended up, I didn't know this other person, but she ended up meeting and becoming friends with someone who looked just like her. And when I saw this picture of them together, I thought they must be siblings. They looked so much alike. Turns out they were not related, but even my friend's like girlfriend or wife or partner, I'm not sure, but even her partner, when she first saw this other person, at first thought it was her partner, thought it was my friend. And both of those people, my friend and the person who looks just like her, I have found out both of those people are now dead. And I don't know what happened.
was she also?
I don't know.
Trans?
I'm not. I really don't know like anything about that person. But just the amount of weird little things related specifically to the game that I gave her and the book that I gave her. A happier memory that I forgot to say when I was up there. We worked at Starbucks together, and one of the first time, like the moment I think I remember consciously thinking, I like this person, she's cool, she's funny, is when like the shift supervisor at Starbucks asked her to look into one of the fridges to see if we had any of a certain type of sandwich left, and she was reaching like way into the back, and she wasn't, with someone. As far as she was aware, no one was around her watching what she was doing. So what she said was her talking to herself. It was just her personality. It was just who she was, like manifesting. She was reaching far into the back for whatever she was looking for, and she was like, "I see you, you little bastard." And I thought that was really charming. One of my other friends also thought that was really funny, and just this was like she was funny, and she made you laugh, and she was always joking, and she was really good at writing. Like, she was really good at expressing herself more than most people, I think. As I've said before, anything artistic she was interested in, and she was good at it. She was already cool enough. She was already a very interesting, charming, worthwhile person. She was already a cool person. Even if she wasn't satisfied with herself, if she was uncomfortable with who she was, as I said, I haven't said everything, I haven't given all the details, but I know more than I'm saying in this video for the sake of respect, but she had mental health issues, and I think she was very vulnerable. I know the sorts of people that she became friends with. I personally spoke with some of them. I know the sorts of things they thought and said and talked about, and I know they influenced her. I know they influenced her far beyond where she needed to go. I think my friend was very vulnerable, and I think she was lured into something much more extreme than what was good or right for her.
It's a hard
life to live, and I know this from experience. So when you call, I'll answer, 'cause I know what it's like when they're all driven away and you're left alone without a leg to stand on. Things took a turn for the worse as I was driving down the road, and I have been lost ever since. Because we all lose it sometimes, and losing's all we need. And we've all overstepped our boundaries, and now we can't find what we need. Wasn't I always there? Didn't I always deliver? Yeah, wasn't I always there? And didn't I always deliver? Careful not to ask questions no one's got the answer to. I'm warning you, it can be a real danger. Careful not to ask questions ain't nobody got the answer to. I warn you, it can be a real danger. It's a hard life to live, and I know this from experience. So when you call, I'll answer, 'cause I know what it's like when they're all driven away and you're left there without a leg to stand on. What ifs? How do you stop it?